Now that we've got that cleared up, it shouldn't be much of a problem for Dr. Naik to explain what Allah really means when he says that Alexander found the sun going down into a pool of murky water.
The Arabic word used here is, it is wajada, meaning it appeared to Zulkarnain. And Dr. William Campbell knows Arabic. So wajada means, if you look up in the dictionary also, it means it appeared. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing what appeared to Zulkarnain.
Allah says that Alexander found the sun going down into a pool of murky water, but he really means that Alexander saw some kind of optical illusion. The sun wasn't really setting in a pool of murky water, Alexander just thought it was. Maybe he saw a reflection in the water, and he'd never seen a sunset before, so he got a little confused. Easy mistake.
Now, let's check what David Wood, cut of Dr. Zakir debate.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing what appeared to Zulkarnain. If I make a statement that the student in the class said 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, and you say, oh, Zakir said 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. I didn't say. I'm telling the student in my class that 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. I'm not wrong, the student is wrong. There are various ways to try and analyze this verse. One is this way, according to Muhammad Asad, that wajada means it appeared to Zulkarnain.
Again, Dr. Zakir explaining here what was mentioned in the original Arabic text of the Quran, that the Arabic word wajadaha means found it as it is translated in Sahih International, and as Muhammad Asad widely explained it in his commentary on the verse.
It appeared to him that it was setting, see Razi and Ibn Kathir, both of whom point out that we have here a metaphor based on the common optical illusion of the sun's disappearing into the sea. And Razi explains this, correctly, by the fact that the earth is spherical.
And that's what really the great ancient Muslim scholar Ibn Kathir mentioned in his commentary on the verse, part 16, page 36.
Meaning, he saw the sun as if it was setting in the ocean. This is something which everyone who goes to the coast can see. It looks as if the sun is setting into the sea, but in fact it never leaves its path in which it is fixed.
So, according to the all-ancient and modern Quran translations and commentaries based on the original Arabic text of the Quran, that was a kind of a metaphor based on the common optical illusion of the sun's disappearing into the sea. And this is something which everyone who goes to the coast can see. It looks as if the sun is setting into the sea, but in fact it never leaves its path in which it is fixed. Unfortunately for David Wood, something which may surprise him, in Gill's exposition of the entire Bible, as a commentary on Judges 19:14.
When they were come pretty near to this place, on the side of it, as it seems, the sun was just setting.
Step number 3. Muhammad blocks the reinterpretation. Sunan Abu Dawud 3991. Abu Dar said, I was sitting behind the Apostle of Allah, who was riding a donkey while the sun was setting. He asked, do you know where this sets? I replied, Allah and His Apostle know best. He said, it sets in a spring of warm water.
Unfortunately for David Wood, again, this hadith is not mentioned in any revised edition version of Sunan Abu Dawud collection, as Book 30 ends by Hadith 3990, and Book 31 starts with Hadith 3998. That is because Hadith 3991 was classified to be shaz, or isolated, and this hadith is rejected and not accepted. And moreover, this hadith was not mentioned in any commentary by any Muslim scholar, especially Ibn Kathir, on his complete commentary on the verse, 1886. While it is known that it is especially popular because it uses hadith to explain each verse and chapter of the Quran.
In this Sahih narration from one of Islam's most trusted collections of ahadith,
again, it is 100% false, as it is known, Sunan Abu Dawud contained some weak hadith, some of which he pointed out, others which he did not. And now, after we have exposed all David Wood lies against the Quran and verse 1886, and also how did he misquote Dr. Zakir, let's check what really the Quran teaches us about the sun. and its motion and position. The Noble Quran is so clear that, all heavenly bodies orbiting, the moon goes around the earth, and the earth orbits the sun, and even the sun orbits around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And that is mentioned in many various verses in the Noble Quran. Just let's see two positions from two different chapters of the Quran.
وهو الذي خلق الليل والنهار والشمس والقمر كل في فلك يسبحون.
And it is He who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon. All heavenly bodies in an orbit are swimming.
لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون.
It is not allowable for the sun to reach the moon, nor does the night overtake the day, but each in an orbit is swimming.
And, if we return to any authentic commentary on the Quran, we read as in Tafsir ibn Abbas, as a commentary on verse 2133.
And He it is who created the night and the day, and the sun and the moon. He made the sun and the moon subservient. They float, each in an orbit, each one of them rotate around its orbit.
And, if we return to Tafsir al-Jalalain, as a commentary on verse 3640.
The sun, the moon, and the stars, of these is in an orbit, swimming, moving. These celestial bodies are being treated as though they were rational beings.
Miraculously, and after 1,400 years of Quran being inspired, we read in many modern scientific sources such as NASA and Universe Today, what 100% confirms the Noble Quran, that astronomers have calculated that it takes the sun 226 million years to completely orbit around the center of the Milky Way.
And it is He who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon. All heavenly bodies in an orbit are swimming.
And it talks to us in here about the stars. It talks about the moon and the sun and the earth and everything that Allah created and describes them in detail and tells us that the earth is doing what? Kawi. Turning. The same thing like when you make a turban, Kawi. Turning. The earth is turning, and nobody believed that back then because you don't feel the earth turning, do you? So we assumed that the earth was the center of the universe and that the sun was going around us, what we thought. But it mentions that even the sun is in orbit. The earth is in orbit. How could the sun be in an orbit? But guess what we found out? It's in an orbit. The sun has an orbit. It's not being still. And the moon is going, the earth is going around the sun the same way the moon is going around the earth. All of it's moving, swimming. And Allah uses this, swimming. Who is telling us this? The Rabbil Alameen, the Lord of the worlds.